Hi, Shelby Long, Senior Vice President of the Strategic Advisor Board and CEO of Business Dynamics, the resident communication expert to help align your business communication practices so you can take your business to the next level. I'm a professor of communication studies, and typically one of the most challenging lessons that we talk about in communication is conflict and how people deal with conflict and how people often shy away from conflict because we often don't like to be in discussions or have people disagree with us. However, it can be one of the most productive things that happens in our business, having a productive conflict and a constructive way to move our business forward. Yesterday, I talked about the nature of conflict. We have conflict, particularly in businesses. We have the nature of conflict that is more task-oriented, and talking about the best way to solve a problem, or maybe introducing a new type of initiative into the business to be able to move our business forward. That's a conflict. It's a struggle to decide what's the best way. There's a lot of decision-making that goes into that process. Then we talked about the personality conflicts and how you, as a CEO and a leader in your business, how it's important to take that conflict head on and figure out a way to manage that conflict so you don't take away from your business culture, so you don't take away from your employees, and you retain those employees because you are taking it upon yourselves and you understand how important it is to resolve that conflict. Today, I want to talk about how it's very possible for CEOs and leaders of companies to move a destructive conflict environment with your employees and move to a constructive conflict. A lot of these have to do with the way that we deal with communication and the way that we communicate through this conflict. There's many different ways to do that, but often with the destructive conflict, we get more of the defensive communication. We get more of our ego involved in it, and there's often a challenge with people and personalities in the way that we deal with conflict. And people don't like to be wrong, or people don't like to have their opinions challenged, nor do they like to have their decisions challenged. And we have to think about it in a different way, because that's a really destructive way to think about how we come to solutions within our businesses, because it's not a competition. It's a collaboration that we can come together and maybe take some perspective from one side and align it with some other side, because often having those multiple perspectives drives us to a solution that is beneficial to all. More of a compromise and more of a collaboration that can elevate all of us in the business rather than destroy one person or one party or another. So the destructive conflict is more of the competition. It's more of the avoiding conflict and the accommodation of conflict, which then just manifests into a different type of style. And it typically develops into a negative feeling and very defensive communication. And we want to avoid that in our business. A way that we can do that is to be more constructive and more proactive when it comes to conflict. I don't say that you should invite conflict in your business, but I think having a healthy conflict and a healthy discussion in your business is really a way to help move your business forward. It can be constructive in a way that businesses can grow and evolve other ideas. Having roundtable discussions and exploring all of the consequences and impacts of decisions is a way to really keep people engaged with the whole process. So it's not necessarily transparency. You're not allowing decision makers to be changed within the business. It's really allowing all voices to be heard when it's an appropriate time for those voices to be heard. Having more agency and providing more agency with your employees can do a lot of things. It can provide you a stronger culture. It can improve your retention because your employees are more involved. And we want to keep all of that involved. And as the CEO, it's incumbent upon us to be able to bring people into that conversation, make it more of a constructive conflict. I work with businesses one-on-one on their culture, business culture, all the time. Talk about how to reduce your conflict, keep your employees more engaged, and move your business forward just through your communication practices. I'll see you tomorrow.